going to be a great day. I am Nikki G, your host, and welcome to the Lone Doctrine. I am your weekly dose of constructive food for thought. If you've been tuning into the Lone Doctrine for a while, you know that I am a sponge for all things good and all things about human behavior, personal development, and so on and so on. As we move forward with our topic of the month of practicing and becoming more present, I wanted to mention one of the most powerful tools I found out in the world based upon the concept of living in the now. I've mentioned this book before, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, but I wanted to dive a little deeper and give you some practical and actionable steps you can use here and now. The concept of now is somewhat the concept of taking away the idea of time. What if I said the only moment that actually exists is only the now? That the past and the future are just memories or daydreams in our mind. At first, this concept made me feel very uneasy. Time is our most precious gift. It's something we won't ever get back, and it's unknown how much more we'll have in the future. Without time, what do we have? This was my mindset until I stepped back and ironically was faced with big life challenges. The overconsumption of time, the idea of what I could have done, what I wish I could do all along, with the anxiety and the stress of the future, literally started to make me ill. My stress levels were so high and my mind was not at peace. I am at my breaking point, and all of a sudden this book that had been sitting on my shelf caught my eye. Here's a quote that got me thinking. Time isn't precious at all because it is an illusion. What you perceive as precious is not time, but the one point that is out of time, the now. That is precious indeed. What does that mean? Well, here's my food for thought. We hold on to things from our past, whether good or negative, but all in all, what we're holding on to is the moment. Even though we might be able to vividly recall the memory, it's an illusion replaying what has already come and gone, which was that very moment, the now. This very moment, no matter what may be weighing on your mind, is a moment you can allow yourself to be present, which can lift the weight, be liberating, and bring peace back into your life. Here's some ways to become more in the now. Number 1, in this very moment, be totally engaged. Here's another quote. Wherever you are, be totally there. If you find your here and now intolerable and it makes you unhappy, you have 3 options. Remove yourself from the situation, change it, or accept it totally. If you want to take responsibility for your life, you must choose one of these 3 options, and you must choose now. Then accept the consequences. We may want to blame, burden, or even allow ourselves to become the victim when life seems unfair. But the truth of the matter is, you have the ability to make a choice no matter the circumstance. Don't get me wrong, you're allowed to feel, and I encourage it because suppressing your feelings can lead you down a very treacherous road. But then take responsibility in what I like to define as protecting your peace. Number 2, find the strength and courage to let go. Here's another quote. Sometimes letting things go is an act of far greater power than defending or hanging on. There are many things in our lives that need to be addressed and can be in a very constructive and productive manner. But sometimes it's best just to let go. Your mind might be saying, but he hurt me. They were unfair. I was right and they were wrong. The question you should ask yourself is Is it worth your energy, your time, and risking taking your peace away? When you create the space in your life by letting go, you will soon be able to reflect that it created room for something new to come into your life. It's due time to clear the clutter. And I'll leave you with this food for thought, which is a big one. Number 3, you are more than your mind. Let me say that again. You are more than your mind. You might be thinking, my mind is all I have. Who am I without my thoughts, opinions, feelings, etc.? When we are constantly playing the fictitious movie in our mind, whether it's a replay of the past or an unknown future, we trap ourselves in that sense of fake time. You're living solely through memories and anticipation. The moment that stands right in front of you is lost. You might think, that's just the way I am. I've never had peace, and I've always thought differently than most people. I seem to have a darker side. Everyone has darkness of some sort, but you cannot have light without darkness. It's who you are under the thinker, under the mind that is your presence. As I quote, the stillness underneath the mental noise, the love and joy underneath the pain is freedom, salvation, and enlightenment. Oh no, I said enlightenment. Some of you may have just had your aha moment, and others may be saying, oh no, not this hippie stuff. No offense to hippies, all peace and love. The Lone Doctrine is a place where we celebrate your individuality, and I encourage you to define it as you may. What does enlightenment mean to you? It doesn't have to hold the status quo. It doesn't have to hold the same meaning as mine. Make it into your own and use it towards your betterment. The feelings, the emotions you feel will come and go. It's the way the human mind works. But those feelings don't define who you are. If you haven't yet, it's time to dig past the surface. I'll leave you with this one more quote from The Power of Now. The beginning of freedom is the realization that you are not the thinker. The moment you start watching the thinker, a higher level of consciousness becomes activated. You also realize that all the things that truly matter, beauty, love, creativity, joy, inner peace, are from beyond the mind. You begin to awaken. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee, as they used to say. But I say, it's time to wake up and cherish the now. You're here and right now. Thousands of people went to bed last night and didn't wake up this morning. You are alive, and you are here for a reason. Cherish every single moment, and keep fighting the good fight.